guys, and welcome to my channel Flame with a 4. In this video we're going to be building a 4-foot part and assemble the lower left leg in issue 99 of Build a Terminator T-800. We need to go grab all the pieces out. We'll go do that and we'll be back in just a sec. Okay guys, now we have all the pieces out. What we need to do is check them off. So we've already checked them off. It kind of gives you an indication of what we're actually going to be doing in this issue as well, which is always really good. And we're going to have a look. So it looks like we get to build another toe again. I know the toes can be a tiny bit tedious to do, but we have to do them because I think this is possibly the last one. So we've got there, we've got 3 here. It looks like we're going to have to do one more. We've only got 3 toes, so we're going to have to build a few more. Right, so let's just crack on with it. So 99-7 will be this section here. You need to attach it with 99-4, which it says on here. It does give you sort of like an indication of numbers. Make sure you get like the fat end to the dumpy end around the right way. So you want to make sure it's round that way. The smaller end goes this side way round, and then you want to make sure that the small end on this way with the number facing upwards, you want to make sure that goes on that way. But then they tell you to build like that, but then they want you to flip it over. So I don't know why they do that. I don't know, it's quite annoying, but what we'll do, we're going to leave it like that. It's actually telling us to build it this way round, but then flip it up to do the other side. So we'll do what it says. Right, so the first thing we need to do is this little pin screw up here. So what they're telling us to do is put the little pin in. It doesn't tell me here what number that little screw is. So I'm just going to go on here. So it's 99-9 is what we need to use. So just going to check my end to make sure that's the right one. So that is. So what you do is you've got to flip it around on the other side. And then you need to put that into there. So it's that way around. And then you need to put your little 99-9 into that little hole there. And then basically screw it into itself, not going all the way through. What you want to make sure is that it goes into itself, but just enough so that it's flush on the top and that it can still move around inside. So it should look like that. Right, so once you've done that, guys, you do now need to attach the other section. So this one's a little bit different, so you just need a little clear, it's really hard to show, but one of those clear inserts there, and you just pop that over the top. You've got to make sure that none of the numbers are showing, because that's what they want you to have it, so that none of the numbers are showing. Push that little insert into there. You need to try and get it in as flush as you possibly can when you're putting it in, because that needs to kind of go through to the other side. And if it's snagging on anything, which it is now, and it doesn't go through, then it won't go in properly. And if it doesn't go in properly, that's not what you want. I need to actually go find out what I've done with my pliers, which are just over here. I'm going to go grab them. There we go. And then we're going to maybe use the end of that to push it so it's flush. Because that little insert needs to go all the way in. And then you need one of your pins. So just a little pin that looks like this. It's hard to show you, but that's the pin that it wants. That goes in the top there, which holds it all together. They're actually pretty good. And I'll use these again to hold it all in place. There you go. So then what it wants you to do is it wants you to have it looking like that. But kind of like that way around. So once it's looking like that and your numbers are this side, you want to be building it so it's like this way around. Then at the end there, we'll need to go put our toe in place. So we're just going to sit that up how it's meant to be and push that in a little bit more. If you are using these to push things in, I would recommend putting a little bit of masking tape on them. I'm not too worried because I don't mind it being scratched up, because I like it, kind of adds a bit of a weather to it. So the next thing they're asking us to do is pop the toe in. As you know, we're using Model Mod's finger fix to do the toes, because I think they look better and they hold the toe joints in way better. So what we're going to do is just get everything that we need. So we just need 2 of those. We need a little washer. and we will also need another one to go the other side. We're going to go ahead and grind. We need to grind that side down a little bit and grind that side down a little bit. We're going to go do that and we'll be back in just a moment. So once you finish putting your model mods bit in there, guys, you will have another toe that looks absolutely amazing like this. So that's all in place. Right, so if you haven't seen the toes, go back and watch some previous videos. Every single other toe that we did the model mods bit, but I'm just trying to do it a bit faster so that you guys don't have to be too bored watching me make a toe every single time we do an issue. Right, so you need to go take this from issue 98, and you should have this bit here, which looks like that. And we're going to be adding in another one of those on the opposite side. So it's telling us to go grab this part here, which is 99-2. It wants us to get the sleeve here like this, 99-10, and it wants us to pop in one of those flathead screws, which looks really thin like that, and put that in the top. And then what it wants us to do there is pop this through on the other side with that insert and then screw that into place. So we're going to hold that in there, and then we're just going to screw that up. We have got our long reach screwdriver here. I'm just going to pop it in, and I'll then show you what it looks like once it's done. As you already know, guys, you don't need to do these all the way up. You only need to do them enough just so that they hold in place. So they are supposed to be able to move around in there, which is what they will do. So that is what they want us to have like that. So it doesn't matter that they move and that they look like wind chimes. It doesn't matter. That's what it's saying for us to do, and that's how they go. That's what they were like on the last one. Right, once you've done that and you've screwed that into place, you will need 99-10 and put 99-11 screw into that, which is the pieces that go into 99-2, which was the cylinder piece. That's done. We need to now go and grab 98-1, which is this piece here. And what it wants us to do here, it wants us to pop this over the top of all that. But this kind of bit here that swoops like that will house the bottom section of this. So that goes on that way around. And then it's saying for it to go in place. So it's just, I'm guessing there's probably some locating lug. So there is a cutout here. And in there is a recess for it to fit into. So that should slide into that recess. There you go, it just did like that. So it will look like this on the top and like that at the bottom. So let's see what else it wants us to do. It's telling us step 12, take the shin piece, which is this piece. This is the shin piece, and it wants us to place that on top. So check the fit on the leg chassis, 3 pegs on the side, so making sure that everything sits on top nicely. So it says check it first, so we'll go ahead and do that and make sure. So that will go through and hold all that into place. Yeah, so fits on lovely, as you saw, went in perfectly. And then once we've done that, it wants us to screw it in using one of these screws. So from the other side here, there's a screw that goes into there. That's the bigger one of the two, not the one with the little tiny thin head. And then that will hold it in place. So it kind of holds it in really well, to be fair, doesn't it, really? Considering you don't see any of this when the leg's on. So it's really cool. So that will hold it all together. So that holds, you know, that whole section in place there. Probably recommend maybe putting a bit of glue on there to hold that piece in, because that piece is quite loose. We'll take that off and do that in a second, but for now we'll just see what else it wants us to do. Looks like we've got to glue these tiny little pieces into the edges here, so they will just line up in there and go in there. So we'll need to pop some glue on just so that they go and cover that bit up there and they look like this. So we'll just go do that. We'll pop this bit on and pop that bit on. We'll put a bit of super glue in there and then we'll come back as soon as that's done. Okay guys, that's now all glued into place. So as you know, we put that section on the top there, we glued this side in, we put the screw back in through there, and then we put the 2 little covers on, which are either side here, to make up the bottom of the leg. Looking absolutely fantastic as usual. We'll just see if it wants to stay there or does it just want to roll off. Right, so what it's saying is that that is all we get to do in this stage. So what we're going to do here is just move some of these pieces out the way. And we're going to take a look at what we've done. So if we bring him over, which we can do now, we can put his leg down like that, and then as you can imagine on the next one, we should maybe get to attach this. I'm not too sure, but that's where that will go in like that, and then hopefully we get to put that on. But look how fantastic that's looking. It's not far off really, guys, for having another completed leg. I'm really excited about doing this with you. I'm just going to pop that there. Just talks a little bit about films and such. Return to sender. But in the next issue, guys, which is what we're all here for, to see what we get to do in the next one, is assemble the left foot and lower leg. So cannot wait to do that with you, because we're just going to assemble this all together, and that's what we get to do in the next one. So we'll be back. Please subscribe if you haven't already, just by clicking the button just down here. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care now. Bye bye.